Okay, I'm live. All right, so I'm going to give Susan just a minute to bring her on. I sent her a link. So if you were watching before, welcome back. And if you're just tuning in now, welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I am Stephanie, and I've had this nutrition business for over 20 years. It's like my heart and my passion. And I am so excited for today because we are going to talk to Susan Adams. She's a nurse. My lighting's all funky. I apologize. I have this light. I wonder if I move it, if that's better. Not really. She's a nurse with over 40 years of nursing experience. And she has also been focusing a lot of her efforts on helping people live healthier lives with nutrition and health. So she's going to be an incredible guest speaker. She has an incredible testimony. She's helped people with Lyme disease and all sorts of health issues. But specifically today, we're going to talk about gut health. I'm going to try and turn around because I think my lighting is so bad the way this is. Okay, maybe that's better. Okay, I'm going to face the window. All right, let's see if she can get on here. I just sent her a new link so she can come on. And I'm going to give her just a minute to pop on here. I'm going to text her. Yes, done. She is asking if I'm sending her the link, so yes. Okay. Hopefully that went through and she can pop on here. And yes, so today we're going to talk about gut health. And while I'm waiting, I'm going to share just a little bit about myself and about my company. I have been with this company, Neolife, for, almost 40 years. Yeah, 40 years. And actually, this year. So 40 years. And I am 44 years old. So I started as a child. And in my early 20s, I decided to study nutrition just as a hobby. And I joined the business. Here we go. Okay. So let me put you on stage. Yay, there you are. Hi, Susan.
Hi.
We did it.
Well, that's amazing. Good.
I was saying on my last live that I used to be really smart when it came to technology, but like it just keeps changing and advancing faster than me. And that hasn't been my expertise. So I apologize.
I apologize because it's less expertise for me. So, anyway, it's amazing. You're in California, I'm in South Carolina, and here we are talking.
Yes. And so this is our Wellness Wednesday. And today we have Susan Adams, and she's a registered nurse. Can you tell us just a little bit about yourself, Susan?
Yes, I am a registered nurse. Let's see. I became a registered nurse in 1972. So I'm still working. The last 24 years, I've been working in an adult psychiatric unit in a hospital. I work mostly with depressed and suicidal people, and it is really a place of ministry, and which is why I keep going to work, even though I officially retired in 2017. But I still like to go. However, I'm taking these 2 weeks off because we are helping with our little grandson who's here. So he is almost 10 months and he's here right now and he's maybe going to sleep upstairs. So,
Oh, that's awesome. How exciting. Well, I am so grateful and appreciative to you to be here. I know this is a network marketing company, and I see people on network marketing, they're selling and they bring people from their upline to sell them and all this stuff. And that is not our agenda today. Our agenda is genuinely to give you some helpful information and hopefully give you some tools that you can use to help your body. So Susan,
yes.
you are a wealth of knowledge. I know I've reached out to you before because I knew somebody that had been suffering from Lyme's disease, and you gave a whole protocol. You are just incredible. So I wanted to hear just how about could you share your own personal health testimony to start so we can hear like how you're aging backwards, really?
Really? Or yes, that I'll be happy to. So you'd think that a nurse could figure out how to stay healthy. Wrong. I couldn't. I tried so hard. But in my 20s, I had a long-term UTI, urinary tract infection, so I was on an antibiotic for a year and a half. You'll see how this ties into the gut health we're going to talk about. And well, finally got rid of that urinary tract infection, but the antibiotics really did some damage to my intestines. And that was in the late 70s and 80s when we didn't know a lot about probiotics and microbiome. That was just the beginning of the research back then. And so that led to other problems. I found out that in my 30s, when I was working as an orthopedic nurse, that I had arthritis in my knees and my hands. And I'm like, well, I suppose that's how the genes go because my grandmothers, both of them, are crippled up with arthritis when they're in their 70s and 80s. So I suppose I will be too. However, this is one of the huge discoveries. I found out about a book that is entitled "There is a Cure for Arthritis." Whoa, this was not something that the hospital or the medical realm acknowledged, but I went outside the realm that I was trained in and found out that arthritis, what does it mean? Arth is joint, itis is inflammation. It's just inflammation of the joints, but what's causing it? Well, in this case, a lot of inflammatory foods were causing it. What are inflammatory foods? Things that we eat every day in America. A lot of processed dairy, a lot of processed white flour, and a lot of sugar. Those are all inflammatory. And so, surprise, I realized we were eating we're trying to be healthy, but we ate a lot of those things every day. So when I cut them out of my diet, guess what? That inflammation started to go down and the arthritis started to go away. That was really encouraging. So that was kind of a introduction into natural health. So then I was in several car wrecks, 5 car wrecks actually, over the years, and one plane crash. That's a little story in itself, but I had a lot of neck and back issues. And so I got a lot of tension in my back, my neck, a lot of headaches, very bad headaches. And actually, I should say, after the first rear-ended car wreck, I had an x-ray. They said I was fine. But 9 months afterwards, out of the blue, it seemed, my whole right arm went numb. Numb. Like as in I'm right-handed and I couldn't use my arm. And I was out of town and I was at a Christian conference. We used to be on staff with Campus Crusade for Christ, now called Cru. We were at the annual conference. Somebody said, you need to go see this Christian chiropractor. I'm like, excuse me, but nurses don't usually go to see chiropractors. But I did not know what to do. I went. And after a few, he said, manipulations on my neck and my back. He said, this is most certainly related to that car wreck 9 months ago. And he knew how to fix it. And he did fix it. So that was really eye-opening into the alternative realm of things. Because medicine, I mean, great, a pain pill for your head or something takes it away for the moment, but it doesn't fix it. I started wanting to go to the root of every problem that I had. But as time went by, I know we lived in a toxic house. We know this now with black mold and other things in Oregon. And that led to other things. I was pretty stressed. I had a postpartum depression that lasted for a year after our second child was born. I was taking the usual prenatal vitamins and all that, but now I know that was not nearly enough nutrition for being pregnant, one little pill a day to give what I needed and what the growing baby needed, not nearly enough. Sometime you should talk to our daughter, Stephanie Boehm, whose baby we have upstairs. She is a labor and delivery nurse. And
Uh-oh.
so anyway, she can tell you all about prenatal nutrition and postpartum nutrition deficiency, which I had very badly. So that led to some mood issues and some depression that comes with the postpartum, yes. And so sleep issues, yes. And I'll just fast forward. Many things happened in my 40s. We're living here in South Carolina, and I was getting sicker and sicker. But why? I was using different supplements off from the local health food store, and but I was sleeping poorly. If your sleep's messed up, everything is worse. I still had these headaches. I jumped from chiropractor to chiropractor with, different kinds of success. So I still had all these headaches pretty much every day. Headaches make me cranky. I don't know about make me cranky. And so I tried different medicines, didn't help. Still having gut issues. I probably had what would be diagnosed as irritable bowel. So I had in between diarrhea, constipation, diarrhea, back and forth, back and forth. When you have a messed up gut, you have messed up sleep, and then you have a messed up brain. So then it went into kind of more depression. And add to that the hormonal fluctuations of irregular periods and endometriosis. Wow. So I just had many things. When I was 47, I was diagnosed with stage 4 ovarian cancer because I did have a grapefruit-sized tumor in my abdomen. Thankfully, that put me on a huge course toward, it was a great experience. I'll tell you why. It put me on a very huge course toward trying alternative things to help the quote cancer. I didn't want to take chemo and radiation. I meant I wasn't going to take it, in fact. But as I progressed with things, I learned many, many, many things. I started feeling better. It was a great experience. I really trusted God with that whole thing. Even Stephanie, our daughter, who was 12 at that time, as an adult, she looked back and said, you know what? I wasn't scared during that time when you had cancer, because you weren't scared. Well, praise the Lord, it turned out to be not cancer. It was a huge bunch of endometriosis, but I did have to have that taken out as well as a hysterectomy. And that took me to my late 40s when I still was at very many challenges with my mood and with sleep and still with these headaches. All this time, I'm searching and searching and searching for something that'll help at the root. I really believe nutrition was it. But I started learning how important it is to heal the gut. And I tried many things. By now, there were all kinds of probiotics and digestive things, fibers on the market, and I tried many, many brands over the years. And I still, all right, I kept going. I kept going to work. I didn't call in sick. I just did that. I homeschooled our 3 kids. I just kept moving, but I never felt great until 2001. We were at a homeschool show. Among all the books and curriculum, there is a table of nutritional supplements. And I literally was tugging on my husband's shoulder and says, don't stop. I want to get the books and keep on going. But he said, let's stop and see if they have something for my mom. She just told us this morning she has pancreatic cancer. And maybe they have something that'll increase her immune system. So we stopped. It was Josh Clark. For some of you who may know him, he explained for 1 hour, yes, we have something for her. And we got her things that she was willing to take. And we saw an incredible transformation in our 82-year-old mom, that she made a huge turnaround in her appetite, in her stopped losing weight, and in her color and her energy in 3 weeks. That caused me to take a look much more closely at this company. I mean, we had been in maybe a dozen other companies in the past, so I was kind of skeptical. And they helped me to know I've got to fix my gut first. So I said, okay, I've been trying, but that was the key to get on some very good digestive supplements, plus what I still think is the best probiotic in the world. You know why? It is the best because it's alive. It has to be alive. Not only it has to be alive in the capsule or wherever it's being delivered, but it has to be able to stay alive through the hostile environment of our stomach, which is full of acid, God put there to help digest, to trigger the proteins to digest, to trigger the enzymes to digest our protein food, and to kill wandering bacteria that might come in on our food and be harmful. So those little helpful, friendly probiotics got to get through our stomach and get into the intestines and still be alive. Now, I had tried, I'm sure, a dozen other brands. Maybe they helped a little, but they didn't help a lot. This one helped a lot. I mean, as in time, it really fixed my digestion. Fixing that, I started to sleep better. I also took a few other things that were missing in my normal diet. Some really good whole food vitamins, some really good supplements that help the cells work better. Yes. So everything started working better, sleeping better. And over 4 months, I got a little better. This was when I'm 49 years old. At about, I was keeping on researching this company because I'm telling you, I was skeptical. Who wouldn't be skeptical? Almost everybody's skeptical. We're bombarded by advertising of every kind. And who do you believe? Well, I saw enough good results in my mother-in-law, in other people by now, and in myself, and in my husband, who got rid of his chronic sinus infections that he'd had for decades by taking things that build the immune system, similar to what we were giving his mom. And so I decided, all right, then, I put this to the test. I'm going to get rid of all my other supplements and only use this one company. And so I tripled up on everything I was taking. I still had headaches, I still had joint pain, but I was sleeping better and I was fixing my gut. And I was hopeful that everything else could fix up. So 4 months, my gut is getting better. I'm digesting my food. I'm sleeping 4 more months on triple of the things that I was taking for inflammation and immune and other things. I got rid of the headaches. What a relief after having daily headaches. Even now, I rarely have one tiny headache in a month. So that's amazing. After several decades of, I didn't call them migraines. Maybe they were. How do I know? I just think it was because of all my neck and back issues. But they were bad. And I'm so thankful that they're gone. So, one thing I did not mention through this whole thing, when your gut's messed up, your head's messed up, your brain's messed up. And my memory was terrible. So I was worried. I thought I was maybe getting Alzheimer's when I was 49 years old. So little by little, we're taking the omega-3s, which are so fantastic, not only for anti-inflammation, but for the brain and for the heart too. My brain started coming back to normal. I didn't have Alzheimer's. I was just messed up by whatever was going on in there. And I will say I kept on taking these supplements more and more. My gut is getting well. My brain is getting well. I'm getting more energy. And by the time I turned 50, I would say that I was finally well for the first time in my adult life. And so that was.
How many probiotics did you start with in the beginning?
I think I took 2 a day, just 2, probably.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So how's your health now? Besides, you don't have many headaches. How's your health now?
I don't have any problems now. I have not literally had any problems for the last 23 years. So
arthritis is gone.
Yes.
IBS symptoms?
Totally gone. Totally gone.
Your mental clarity, no more depression.
No more depression. No more memory issues. No more headaches. No more crankiness.
And going back to your mother-in-law, how long did she live after she was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer?
She did fantastic as long as she was taking the many supplements, many for immune system, many for gut health and extra protein. She did fantastic for, I'm going to say 6 months. I'm going to guess. And then her doctor said, but we should do chemo and radiation. But oh, Mrs. Adams, you shouldn't take any of these supplements because they might interfere with the chemo.
Mhm.
And I'm sorry to say that the chemo did not help, radiation did not help. Losing all those really great supplements that were keeping her going did not help, and she was very soon with the Lord. Yeah.
So about that, what I wanted to say is that's not the first time I've heard that story. Not even your mother-in-law's story. I've heard that before. Pancreatic cancer usually isn't diagnosed until like the end normally, right? So 6
Right.
months is actually a long time because
Yes.
usually it's not noticeable until you're like a week away from the end.
Yes. Correct. That's good. That's absolutely right.
So anybody that doesn't know that, that's like 6 months is incredible. And if she stopped her supplements, so here's the other thing I wanted to say about that. So you say she had to take a lot. I One of the things that I really am trying to stress to my viewers is a lot of people say, "Well, I'm healthy. I don't need anything. I don't have any problems. I don't need anything." So then my question is, should people wait until they're sick to get on a healthy supplement or get their clean up their diets in their homes and all of the things? Should we wait until we're sick or should we supplement and be proactive ahead of time? Right? What are your thoughts on that?
I listened to you just before this. I listened to your detoxing one, and I have done classes on that. Super important. Yes, if we have, okay, I'm 73. My husband will be 75 next month. We are healthy, and we have so many older friends our age, that are not healthy. They're on many medicines. Neither one of us is on any pharmaceutical medicines. Praise the Lord. I'm so happy. I'm thankful. Of my patients, the more medicines they're on, the the sicker they are. I'm just
Yeah.
saying this. So, yes, we have people though who say, yeah, now they're taking these supplements and taking quite a bit, and they'll say, yeah, I wish I would have listened to you when you first started telling me, like 10 years ago, because I would
Yeah.
have had a 10-year head start. And I say, folks, whatever you spend on good supplements is worth it now while you're well. We live in a very toxic world. It's hard to do everything right. No, it's impossible to do everything right. So a hel- uh, give yourself a head start and a help by consuming some really good supplements, and enough that will make a difference. It will make such a difference in the future. So
So, okay, I want to jump back into gut health now. So, we were going to talk about gut health today. So you started with two of our. It's called acidophilus, and that has what in it?
it has 5 different kinds of friendly, healthy bacteria. Each want to live in a different part of the intestine. It's kind of, I picture it like a school bus. The first one, Acidophilus, gets off near the beginning of the intestine, and then like the next kind gets off. You don't want to know the big long names. I mean, I can tell you, but the next bacteria gets off where it likes to live, and then the next one where it likes to live, and it keeps going down there and populates the whole intestine. But we need these things literally every day, because things are supposed to be moving out every day, taking with our nice daily normal bowel movement, taking with many of these bacteria. They don't just hang out, got to keep putting them in. So unless you eat a traditional diet, like you eat fermented foods, like I, from a German background, I like sauerkraut. I could eat it every day, but I don't eat it every day. Yogurt, buttermilk. original buttermilk. My grandma drank it every day, but I don't drink it ever because it's too sour for me. Stuff like that. Kimchi in Korea, and different cultures have different fermented foods. If you're not in the habit of eating the fermented food every single day, which I bet most Americans are not, it really helps to take at least one or two of those acidophilus every single day of your life. Remember, they're alive, so you don't want to take them with things that will kill them, such as an antibiotic, if somebody's
Uh-huh.
taking an antibiotic, or iodine that kills, and also garlic tends to kill them. So take it at a different time of the day.
Oh, good to know. Okay, speaking of garlic, is garlic good for your gut health?
Garlic is a natural antibiotic, so it will go and kill the bad guys. And yes, it's good. It's part of our 3-day detox kit, which is an excellent thing to do once or twice or 3 times a year.
Yes. And by the way, if you're watching this and you want links to any of this, please just comment, like send me a link to the garlic or the acidophilus. Going back to the acidophilus, this one is like really incredible. They all are truly. But there's something unique about our acidophilus that is different than other like store brands or other brands. And we have something special. It's an artificial stomach. So we can, in our labs, and we're able to see that it can actually make it through the stomach acid. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
I love that. In our lab, this is so incredible. Of all the companies that we've ever used products from, I've never known one company who manufactures their own products. This is so important because they have 100% control over the manufacture of the products and that they make sure they work. And so I've seen the pictures of this. It's like a glass stomach you can see right inside. And they put the same chemicals, acids, and so forth that would be in our stomach, and they watch what happens. And so they make sure, in this case, the Acidophilus plus does not, release its live bacteria into the stomach. It sends it down further. But other capsules and tablets, they want to make sure they dissolve or break down in the case of a tablet or open up in the case of a capsule right away. So the goodness gets released where it's supposed to be. And they can see that happening. So that's really important. I have heard, probably you have too, of people who their job is to empty out outhouses and deal with the contents, and they find pills in there. Pills. I'm
Yes.
serious. Sometimes, no joke, they can read the whatever's printed on the tablet because it never broke down and it sailed right through the person. So you didn't get your money's worth on that one.
Yes. Okay. I love that so much. Now, I just want to jump in. We have some other gut nutrition products. Is stomach acid good or bad? Sometimes people say they have acid reflux. Talk about that.
Acid reflux is bad. It damages your esophagus. It can damage your teeth. But acid is good. Acid is what God put into our stomach to help digest our protein. Without acid to trigger the enzymes to come out and digest the protein, we put all the strain on the enzymes that must come out in our first part of our intestine. But don't think that acid is not bad. And I'm so sorry for the millions and millions of people who are taking acid blocking medicine or acid reducing medicine. They are doing the wrong thing. We need more. When we get older, we need more acid, not less, more acid. What? So some people you may see, oh, they put lemon in their water. That's acid. That helps. Some people drink some apple cider vinegar to get more acid. That helps. It's kind of hard on your teeth to do that day by day. Since I learned about it, now I'm talking about 24 years, I've been taking a little acid tablet by the same company with my meal. Because what? I'm older. I'm not making enough acid to digest my food. So I take one acid pill to help my body get more acid. I do not have acid reflux. If it's a large meal, I'll take two. And then I take something else. This is called a stomach targeted acid pill. I also take an intestine targeted enzyme pill, which, what does that mean? This is where we see the it's intestine targeted. It's not supposed to open up till it's in the intestines. So we could see in that artificial stomach, it's not getting broken down in the stomach by the acid, which is a really good thing because if the enzymes get broken down in the stomach, they'll get digested as enzymes and you'll get amino acids, but you won't get the enzyme goodness. So this tablet is designed to make it through the stomach into the intestines. Now it breaks down, releases enzymes that the pancreas is already making, but guess what? Probably maybe not enough. So now we have more enzymes to finish the carbohydrate digestion that starts in our mouth if we chew our food, mix it with saliva. It continues the protein digestion that's supposed to start in our stomach, and it starts the fat digestion, which should also be helped by a little squirt from your gallbladder of bile. And if you don't have a gallbladder, your liver's still making bile and delivering it to this spot. So then all our foods get digested. And then we get all the goodness of our food, which is why we need to start all nutrition programs with good digestion support. Because what if we're making all the right choices with our diet and we can't digest it and assimilate it and get the
Yes.
goodness to our cells? We're wasting time and energy.
Yes. And speaking of the gallbladder and the bile, that was a great point. I love that. My mom, she was a nurse her whole career before she had to quit and become a lawyer.
Whoa.
I know, huge shift. But it was like, oh, I have to have my appendix out. Just go ahead and take out they took out her uterus, they took out her gallbladder. She was like, oh, just take it all out, less problems. No, not true. But with that, she can't really digest fats very well because of the missing bile. And so those enzymes are critical for her. She gets really upset stomachs if she eats anything rich. So do you want to talk about that at all?
Yes. They did when I had the hysterectomy, they made the same offer. Hey, since we're in there, why don't we get your appendix out and your gallbladder out too, so you don't have problems in the future? I'm like, no, thank you. I'll keep my perfectly well working organs God gave me. They have a job to do. So thankfully, I still have my gallbladder and my appendix. If there's a problem for people who have to get them out, okay, you take them out. But if you can keep them, keep them. So, I'm sorry, I forgot the question. Is it about the bile?
Producing bile, yeah. So that those enzymes are even more, noticeable, I would think. My mom needs to take them right
Yes,
away. Otherwise, she gets really upset stomach.
yes, and sometimes one, unless it's a very small meal, you'll need more than one. You might need two or even three. That's why I love the packet that comes with three enzymes and two stomach acid pills in one little convenient packet. It's really great for when you're going out to eat a substantial meal or traveling.
Yes, absolutely. Those are amazing. And if you travel, food poisoning can help with that. Okay.
Yes.
So we're talking about gut health. We've talked about the probiotics. We've talked about enzymes and digestion. So we have one other thing that I wanted to focus on a little bit is the aloe.
The aloe and the fiber. Let's talk about the fiber. It's
Yes,
easy.
and fiber.
Fiber. We have a wonderful natural fiber. It is a standalone product. It mixes into water or any beverage that you like. And for anybody who does not have a decent, at least one bowel movement every day, soft, easy to get out, don't sit there for a half an hour. You need some fiber and you need extra liquid. Do not get dehydrated. If you take fiber and you get dehydrated, you're making yourself worse by a lump in there in your colon. So plenty of fiber in your food, extra fiber if you need it, and plenty of water. What's plenty? They say half your weight, whatever your weight in pounds, divide in half. Take so many ounces of liquid during the day, at least. Aloe. The aloe, people put they have an aloe plant, they cut it, you got to burn, you put that gel stuff on the burn and it helps right away. But we can also drink aloe juice that's properly made for eating. And we have this fantastic, wonderful aloe juice drink that is so healing. I mean, we never claim that we heal anything. We don't, I should say this, we never diagnose, we never prescribe, we never say we can cure or heal anything. We let the body do that. God made our body to heal itself. If we quit doing things that harm it, start doing things that help it, right? It
Mhm.
got our bodies this way. So the aloe is very healing, calming for reflux. Yes, I know I know three people, a child who, babies have reflux and they give him medicine right away. I met this child when he was about 8, and since he was a baby, he was taking anti-reflux medicine and putting the, yeah, lowering acid in his poor little stomach, and he hated the taste of it. We got that child on this aloe drink, which tasted delicious and fixed him up very quickly, got him off that uh, unpleasant tasting medicine. And so that was the child. Then we had a college student, same story. Well, he wanted to be um, in the Air Force, a pilot. And they said, well, you can't be on any medicine. And he had reflux. He said, well, you can't have any problems. It became a prayer request. And we said, we'll pray for him, but we'll also send this jug of aloe down to him. And he took that one jug, large. I mean, it was about 3 quarts. And in time, the reflux problem was gone. So he qualified for the pilot program. And then we know other people who've wanted to get off these acid blocking pills, which is difficult for many people and takes time.
Yes.
And I don't coach somebody to do that, but if somebody wants to get off, because why? They've read the bad side effects and the future dementia and all other kind of side effects. They want to get off themselves. There's a way to do it, and the aloe helps greatly with that process.
Yes. I actually have a friend who had GERD, and she was on all these prescription acid blockers. And Dr. Jim McAfee said she wanted to get off of them. So she said, what can I do? And he says to drink a shot of the aloe juice every single time she had a flare up. And it worked. She has no more symptoms anymore and no more meds. Okay, I know that's not, typical, right? Like we can't say that we cure it, but it was very helpful. The one other thing about these things is just because we're talking about aloe juice doesn't mean that you can go to the grocery store and just buy aloe juice. Why would you not want to just pick something up at the grocery store?
Oh, you can. It's much cheaper, but I'll tell you what, you are totally wasting your money. It doesn't work. It simply doesn't work. And you can try it. And I have had many people go, yeah, your aloe's too expensive. I'm going to get this 3 times as much for half the price. Go put it to the test. I promise you it won't work. If it works for you, great. But if you want something that definitely will work, this company works.
And I just would love to add to that we have a pharmaceutical license. So everything that we claimed to be inside the bottle that's on the packaging is inside the bottle. The FDA can check it. They don't guarantee anything, but they'll check the contents. And we've never, in how many years?
Started
60.
in 1958. So what are we going on? Yeah.
So yeah, we're close to 70 years of never having a recall, nothing ever pulled from our shelves because we cut corners. Our company does not do that. We've never had a lawsuit. So what I just love so much, and I did some digging too with you, like just similar to you, where I was like, I wanted to find something wrong with this company. The only things I could find were people complaining about pricing.
Mm.
So the one thing that I have heard multiple times is our founding scientist, Dr. Arthur First, said this was the first company that they didn't want to make the plan based on the profit margin. They really wanted to make the best product and then price it accordingly. So we don't cut corners. Our company has the outstanding reputation. We provide the seeds for all of our foods that we turn into supplements. We provide them to the farmers, and we only work with farmers that are like out, as far away from local like freeways and places that have a lot of contaminants. So they're as clean as they can get. The scientists actually test their products when they get back into their labs and make sure that it's their original seed that they get provided. We have a zero tolerance. What can you tell us just as far as quality, like salmon oil? Let's just say what is our standard for salmon oil? I mean, fish have like metals and stuff, right?
Yes. So even the FDA and the people who they allow for certain parts per million of mercury and lead and other contaminants because it's hard to get out, and the fish are full of it, unfortunately, today. Neolife standard has always been and it will always be zero. Zero mercury, zero lead. Those are things that go to your brain and stay there for a long time. So we go the extra mile. We test each each batch of salmon oil for over 200 contaminants. That's just not one test, that one lab test saying, tell us what's in this stuff, or it's individual tests. It's tedious, but they always do it every batch and make sure that it's clean and pure. One time we did
Yeah.
have one time we did have a shortage because the batch that they sent them did not meet our standards. And
Mhm.
no kidding, the supplier said, "Why won't you take it? Everyone else does." Yeah. So for a short time, we had a little shortage of that because we couldn't get our quality, and we've done that with other things that we insist upon it being perfectly to our high standards. And you've said in other talks how things are not. The whole nutrition field is not regulated, and you could put something in a capsule or a tablet and not be all there, and you can make any claims you want. But our standards are that we always have whatever's on the bottle, you will find that much in the product or more, and never
Yeah.
less.
Yes. Okay. I have so enjoyed all of your knowledge and information and your story. I really appreciate you coming on here and sharing. Is there anything else that you think you want to add before we end?
I know we've gone a long time. Thanks to all who are listening. Let me say one more thing about
Yes.
price. So people balk at the price. Okay, ask any a person who's taking medicines, how much do you spend on medicine per year? How much you spend on doctors per year? How much you spend on days in the hospital per year? Add it all up, people. It's tax time. You're going to know how much you've spent on medical expenses, just getting well and staying well in a year. Okay, so Lee and I do this every year. We add up how much we have consumed of our healthy products throughout the year so that we stay healthy and stay off all those medicines in a year. And I've calculated that with the two of us together, um, we whatever we pay in entire year for the two of us is less money than one of us being in intensive care on a ventilator for 24 hours.
Isn't
And
that incredible?
yes. So, and we enjoy quality of life day after day after day. And we are so thankful. We are so thankful for the bodies that God made that are able to take good nutrients and get well and stay well.
Yeah, chemotherapy, all these therapy, there's so much money, and maybe insurance pays some of it, but really we lose on work, we lose on all of the things that we could be doing. And not only that, but like quality of life.
Yes.
What
Yes.
is the quality of life if you're sick all the time? Okay. I have loved talking with you. You have been such a gift and a blessing. Thank you so much, Susan.
You're
If
welcome.
you have any questions or you want any product information, feel free to comment. And Shelly asked, do you continue to take 2 acidophilus a day?
I do most of the time,
Okay.
or one. If I'm good. Sometimes I take one. Just to consider the cost, I'll take one. So
Yeah.
if I have any trouble, I'll just bump it up. So that's easy to do.
And one last thing I just wanted to say, we talked about like prevention is actually cheaper than like waiting until you're sick. When your mother-in-law was sick with pancreatic cancer, she took a lot of supplements because she was so deficient that she got pancreatic cancer, right?
Yes.
So ideally, you want to take maybe less while you're healthy and prevent those in the first place, right?
Right.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much. Thanks for watching. I would love to hear from you. If you are watching for the first time, please comment that, share where you're watching from, and I hope you have a great day. Next week, we are going to be hearing from Bob Pearson on mental health, and you're not going to want to miss it. Same time, same place. Thank you so much, Susan. I hope you all have a fabulous rest of your week. Thanks.
Okay.
Bye.
You're welcome. Bye.
And stream.